Hey everyone, I'm Loryn Stone with Toy Wizards, that's toy-wizards.com, and I'm here for a toy talk with a special guest collaborator. We are going to be hanging out with Sailor Tortilla from Sailor Moon Toys and Collectibles.
We're going to have an amazing chat.
So the topic here today, you guys, is primarily going to be Sailor Stars. We are focusing on toys because for Sailor Stars, there was not a lot of toys.
We're going to talk about Sailor Moon Stars and probably Sailor Moon Eternal too. We'll see.
And right now, the new Sailor Moon Eternal movie is in theaters in Japan, and so we have a lot to discuss with new merchandise and a lack of old merchandise and where we're going to see Sailor Stars going and the reception of that previous season.
Awesome. So yeah, with Sailor Moon Eternal, we're getting a lot more merch than we did for I swear, an entire year, something like that. So yeah, there's always kind of that looming hope that when Sailor Moon Eternal gets 2 stars, that we might see Stars merch. I think we only have one, right? It's Sailor Moon Eternal, the Ben Presto, BBBBB, blah, blah, blah. I have it here. This is the super version. And we're supposedly getting an Eternal version, and they're not going to cancel it. I really don't think they're going to cancel it this time.
No, that one was announced. I do remember seeing the listings, and just like the band Presto, we have the color A and the color B palette. Educate me, Sailor Tortilla. It's supposed to be manga and new anime color variations?
Yeah, that's kind of what they're calling it on Japanese Twitter. I think that we Americans have looked at it and kind of gone oh, anime and pastel. But Japanese Twitter seems to really be, whoop, I dropped one, but they seem to be really fond of just saying anime and manga. Because I guess manga is kind of always faded. It's kind of just especially with Sailor Moon, it's 30 years old. Maybe those images were a little brighter when they came out. I don't know. I might just be talking out of my ass. But basically, one is more saturated and the other one's brighter but less saturated. And frankly, I enjoy this one.
Okay, yeah, B is that more pastel one.
I actually like the B one on this one. But Sailor Moon Eternal, girl, it's the only time we're getting a figure that big of Sailor Moon Eternal in how many years?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I mean, just the fact that all right, look, for a movie that's called Sailor Moon Eternal, I am surprised by the lack of Eternal merchandise, both in Eternal Sailor Moon with her wings aesthetic, but we're all assuming at this point that we are going to see the Senshi, the, dare I say the word, Guardians. I'm old school, I call them soldiers. To this day, I'm Sailor Soldiers, and the world's Sailor Guardians. I'm ugh.
Yeah. It's a little hard to roll off the tongue.
Yeah, Sailor Guardian, it doesn't work for me, but yeah, everyone wants to see their bubblegum sleeves. Everybody wants to see those ruffled skirts. And I know that deep inside of people, they want to still see the Amazonas Quartet as Sailor Chibi Moon's Guardian team.
Yo, I really want that too, because I fantasize about the manga continuing. One day, I think Naoko Takeuchi's gonna wake up and decide that she's tired of making money without doing anything. And it's coronavirus time, so it's time to draw more manga. I don't know, that's a fever dream. It's never happening. But at least we might see it in the movie.
Did you ever read the short stories? I remember I got that yellow art book years and years ago, back in 2001, when it, or even whenever it came out, that yellow art book with all the designs, and it had the Ko Usagi short story at the end, and I couldn't read it because it's Japanese AF. And for years and years and years, there was no translation, and then finally that book of short stories came out, and I never read them, to be really honest.
Oh, so I know exactly what you're talking about. That's the Materials collection. It's the only official art book that I own. I also got it around 2000. That's crazy. Yeah, I got it for $40 in the year 2000, and I think now it runs around 600, 700. It's nuts. That's besides the point. But yeah, those short stories, the one about Ko Usagi is kind of interesting because it is about the future. It's just an alternate future, and also all the Senshi gave birth to their own clones, which is interesting because it almost seems and this is a completely separate topic, but Neo Queen Serenity and Queen Serenity, with the exception of the hair color, I mean, there's always that whole thing in the manga of like, is Usagi a clone of her mom? She doesn't have a dad. Like, did that happen to the other Senshi in the parallel Sailor Moon? I could go on a whole, this is a rabbit hole, but...
Rabbit hole, you know what? I really like that. It's the only thing that makes sense.
At least for that one, but I would like to see, like, not necessarily the children of the Senshi. I quite frankly don't care because we already have the asteroid Senshi, like, established. Like, there's so much to go off of with Sailor Moon. And the asteroid Senshi, like, if they appear in the movie, okay, hold on, wait. They're definitely going to appear in the movie. It'd be so weird if they remove them in their Sailor Fuku from the movie.
Do you think, because Sailor Moon Eternal is going to be a 2-part movie, do you think that we're going to get that element in the first movie, and then the second part will be a wrap-up or a continuation of Sailor Stars? I'm under the impression now, and this might be the cynic in me, I think that the powers that be, Naoko Takeuchi, Toei, etc., will do anything in their power to keep the Starlights out of media at this point. I think the Starlights will have a singular scene, blast some powers, and bounce. I think that's all we're gonna get from them.
Yes, I think you're so right, and it makes me so angry that I agree with you, but, like, I think they really want to separate out, because, like, wasn't the whole thing with Stars that they didn't get good ratings in the 90s? Like, I'm pretty sure that's why it's just the redheaded stepchild forever.
It gets a reputation as being a very odd season, and as far as animation goes, it was the best. I personally feel that Super S was the weakest, because every filler episode did what I call flat eye animation. Like, it was like, you have the A-B, the A-team, the B-team, and, like, those were, like, the Q-team. On those episodes where the animation was just flat and everybody was, like, round and baby-faced. And do you know what I'm talking about? Those specific episodes where everything just looked sloppy. And it happened a lot in Super S. So by Sailor Stars, especially once the Super S arc was officially over with Nihilenia and we started the Galaxia arc, the animation was stellar. So I agree with you. It was like we had this budget and everything looked really nice, but apparently the ratings were very low, and obviously that affected merchandising. So it's really upsetting.
It hurts my soul. All right, so Stars, no toys. Bing, bang, boom. Yeah, no one watched it. They didn't want to make toys, and I am eternally angry about it. And I think you brought some toys with you to show.
I did. So I have, I think, 2 original toys from the Sailor Stars era. My grail item to this day is still, I want that Star Yell, like the Starlight's, attack weapon. Because if you remember, originally in Sailor Stars, when the Starlights did their attack, it was just literally a glowing blue star. And then some genius at Toei was probably like, dorks, we can turn this into a toy and sell it. So they had the Star Yell, and then they also had the headset with the chest piece with the chest piece.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I did that, and I did that. Those are my Sailor Moon tattoos.
Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, so they have those 2 pieces, and those are the Starlight toys. And then everyone has seen Sailor Moon's wand, what's that one, the tiara? The moon tier?
Or is it, I always read it as tier though, so nobody at me if I get it wrong.
I mean, in the stage musicals, the actresses always said tiara, but that may be a pronunciation thing.
Yeah, you're right. Japanese to English or French or whatever they were going for.
These are my 2 90s Sailor Moon toys. So I have my beloved Sailor Star Maker.
Oh my god, I remember these. I had like bootlegs of it or like Korean versions of it or something.
Yeah, I can't believe. And then these actually, for all the expensive toys, these were not expensive. And then I have Sailor Star Healer in the same line. And these are such pretty toys. Like, I should open them, but like I won't.
No, don't. No, they're so old.
They're so old. Like, what's the year? Do we have a year on this? It's
probably 97. Or 96. Yeah.
Is our Toei sticker. But those are my only two actual vintage Sailor Stars toys. I do have some modern ones with me if you wanted to see those.
Yeah, let's do it.
I have to show off my pride with my concert shirt. I was there.
I love it. I love it. You said that was fan made.
This is fan made. I got it off Redbubble a couple years back.
Oh my god, I need to find it. I need to be a biter and just have the same shirt.
We can all go to like the Three Lights concerts if conventions ever come back.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh man. Do they really have people really cosplayed and done concerts in America? Am I missing out? Yeah.
I've seen like people as the Three Lights. I've seen some cosplayers on stage, but the problem, and we can, jump back and forth. The problem with dressing like any of the Three Lights or the Starlights is like two people know who you are.
Oh.
Which is still weird. For all of Sailor Moon's popularity, you go out dressed in like the red, blue, or yellow suit as the Three Lights, or you dress up as the Sailor Starlights in the black. And again, you don't dress up as a character so other people know who you are, but considering all the anime that's out there and some characters are more recognizable than others, to go to an anime convention cosplaying a Three Light or a Starlight and no one knows who you are, it's a little sad, considering Sailor Moon's like the most popular magical girl show in the world.
That reminds me of going to cons in like 2004, because like I always wanted to cosplay Sailor Moon, and like now everything that's 90s is like super hip. Like everybody wants to like wear it, buy it, whatever. But even then, like even wearing Sailor Moon stuff back then, like not even just Starlights, like it's crazy how the popularity has increased in the last 20 years. Like, not so much when it was on TV, because still, when it was on TV, you maybe had like 3 anime kids in your school that watched it with you. But now, it's super bizarre. And I can't stand the fact that, like, it took so long for stars to come to the United States. It took so long for anyone to know who the hell they were, that you're still running into that. Like, I never stopped to consider it, and now I'm mad about it. And also, I miss cons. I miss cons a lot. Like, I didn't even go to that many anymore, but like, it's nice to have that release away from work, away from everything.
Having the option there is nice, and some shows, I mean, I'm in the Los Angeles area, so I've been going to Anime Expo on and off, not every single year, since 1999. I bought my first Sailor Moon shirt from there, and it was so ugly. You were talking about limited merchandise. It was, again, it was this hideous grayish purple shirt. With a circular, it was a circle, and it had all 5, inner senshi lined up, and it said Deke on it. And like, it was just, it was a really unattractive shirt, and it was baggy, old Hanes, like, clothes weren't nice yet.
Do you still have that?
Oh no, it fell apart.
Oh.
Teenager, I was 14 when I got it, so I probably dyed my hair in it, and like, ate Taco Bell and, dripped on it and it just disintegrated. I wish I still had that shirt, but I do not.
Oh, man.
It was the only thing I could afford at Anime Expo 99, which back then, it was so cool because it was either $25 for the whole day, which I didn't have, or it was $10 to get into the expo hall, so I did that.
Oh my god, these prices. Fuck.
Things are insane. But it's become nerd summer camp. I mean, Anime Expo was always the biggest of what it was. But the last time I went to Anime Expo, which was, I guess 2019, I must have been in a sea, like a hall, going down from one side of the building to the other side, and it was like a sea of 200,000 people. Coronavirus or not, you didn't want to be in there.
No. I mean, it's great that being an anime fan is hip, but at the same time, like, all the companies know that they can nickel and dime us for everything. So, it's good, but not. Oh god, no. I'm so jealous of those prices, though. Holy shit.
It was spectacular. I will never, even at the time, I did not I did not, like, not appreciate it. I did not think, like, this is too much. No, it was cool. We're good. I was just young. I didn't have any money, and I remember going from table to table looking at the merchandise and seeing a full table of vintage Sailor Moon plush, because, you know, I mean, they weren't vintage at the time. They were, you know, from 97, 98, because this was 1999. And I'd ask, like, oh my god, how much is that Eternal Sailor Moon plush? How much is that Sailor Starfighter plush? And they'd be like, $85. And I'm like, oh, $85 in 1999 when I was 14. No, thank you.
No. And do you think it would have been different if Stars had aired on Cartoon Network? Do you think that, like, things would have changed, or, like, I almost want to think that no, things wouldn't change, but I want your perspective on that. Just because, like, you have the expertise of, like, all the toys and stuff. Like, you know more of the industry than I do.
Well, it was interesting because back then, that was a really pivotal time. So in the early mid-90s, we had all of those Irwin Toys dolls, we had the Irwin Toys keychains, and then we had the infamous, I have it next to me if you want me to pull it out, but that big, chunky transformation brooch, which was season 1 on the outside and season 2 on the inside. So we had American toys. Those were not Japanese. But then, around 2002, Irwin started repackaging Bandai wands. I have the Chibi Moon Pink Sugar wand, which I was blown away when I saw that in stores, and it was only $20. And then I also have the, the Cutie Moon Rod? Is that the Moon Princess Halation rod?
Yes.
That one, which is repackaged Bandai, I also got it around the same time. So, you know, to answer the question, yes, if something is successfully airing domestically, then the toys aimed for children will be more affordable. Now, if we're talking things that are supposed to be props aimed for the adult collector, or what they think is higher end, they're going to get you. Like, I'm thinking right now of Hasbro's new Power Rangers Lightning Collection Green Ranger Dragon Dagger. It's a brand new toy from 2020, $60. It's a toy. Like, it's a toy. It doesn't do much more than my Cutie Moon Rod, you know, from 98, 99, 2000 did. And that was like a $20 toy at the time.
Yeah, and that's nothing like a Proplica, is it? Is it really just kind of like the toy quality thing? Because, like, I know that for us, we ended up with the Proplicas, which now, you know, the white Kaleido Moon starts at like $160 without shipping. Holy crap. I don't feel good about that. That feels bad.
A friend of mine imported the Kaleido Moon Rod, the toy, because again, we didn't have Proplicas yet. And he had it, and I don't remember what it cost him, but we were all like blown away by the sounds it could make. And it just wasn't any better quality than the Irwin ones I had. Again, those are repackaged Bandai, but just seeing, like, here's toys from Japan making noise in the late 90s, and that was enough for us.
Yeah, that's so true. Now you have people like me who are elitists, and we're going, oh no, this isn't doing enough for me. I need more. I have, like, it's like somewhere behind me, but I have 2 brand new Moonstick Proplicas, like a crazy person, just because it's one of those things where it's like, it's not getting re-released. I need to buy 3 of it. I couldn't do that with the new stuff.
Let me ask you this, since you are a Proplica collector and you do have so many of them and you review them, do you find the quality of them to be something like, going back to conventions, if someone is cosplaying Sailor Moon, is the intention of them so that they can walk around with a legitimate Sailor Moon product and legitimately feel like Sailor Moon, or is it more like when you're alone at home, it sounds like, it puts you into the show? Like, do you think is the intention of it? Is it to act out or to immerse?
So I think the intention is to really hit that nostalgia spot. It is really to make you feel like, oh man, it's the real thing. But at the same time, they did give it that name, Prop Replica. So I almost want to think that I'm incorrect and it really is supposed to be for cosplay. But at the same time, like, are 30-year-olds really cosplaying nowadays like we used to? I don't really know. I mean, I know that in my case, no, but that's just me personal. That's just allegorical. So I'm going to go with, I want it to be like it's immersive and it's going to hit all those nostalgia, like, soft spots. But I do think that it was just supposed to be prop replica for cosplay to look real, to look pretty in your house. But like, I also don't see why it can't just be twofold. I'm really going off of the name though, but all I want is for them to like care about us. But they don't care about us, and they certainly don't care about stars.
I would pay so much money, reasonable money. Okay, I would pay reasonable fan money to get a Starlight Proplica.
Oh yeah.
I just think it's so underdone, and if we want to go back to Stars merchandise, I can show you what I have that was released by like Great Eastern in the last couple of years, and they stopped. It was like this tiny little burst of Stars merchandise, and then it was over.
Yeah, give it to me. I have one thing here. I could go first because it's just one itty bitty little baby thing. This is, and I literally just got this, and I'm going to show it to you in a second so you can react, but camera time. So this is a lanyard. That is all. I mean, really, it's got Sailor Moon in a different pose, Sailor Moon in a different pose, and she just happens to be Sailor Moon Eternal. That's kind of it. That's like all that I have. It's just, it doesn't even have like a keychain portion. It's just like the little tag where I'm sure you like put your driver's license, and it just has her in different poses. It's just...
It's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. Every time a new company notifies me that they're like, because I'm a toy journalist, they're like, hey, Loryn, we're promoting these new Sailor Moon products. Will you help us promote? And I'm like, of course, what is it? And they're like, here's a tote bag and a lanyard. And I'm like, go away. That's promotional swag. I'm not going to help you sell that.
Do you feel like that's just for Stars, or that's just American merch in general?
It's American merch in general because it's very, very cheap to produce. It's numbers. It's cut and dry. It's that simple. There's nothing more complex about it other than pins, tote bags, and lanyards are the cheapest thing to produce. You can get them made in the hundreds wholesale and sell them for $12, and people are like, oh my god, I just got a Sailor Moon thing and it didn't cost much. And you're like, yeah, you know what it cost them? Pennies.
Oh yeah.
I'll show you my Stars merch because again, there's not much. Actually, I'm going to start with my earrings. They're Great Eastern. I bought them on Amazon in 2016. I have Sailor Star Maker.
That's your favorite, right?
Sailor Star Maker is my favorite. Yeah, nobody agrees with me on that one. We can go into that in a little while if you want to. But yes, I have Sailor Star Maker. Healer and Fighter finally came out, and I did not buy them. And I don't know if that's a yet or if I did not buy them. This is along the same lines of like lanyards. I have pint glasses.
Those are actually really cool though.
They're pretty cool, right? I'm never going to open them again. They're great. So same artwork as your lanyard. You only get so many pieces of artwork approved. They're like, this is the drawing of Eternal Sailor Moon that you get. Do not stray.
Is that the three? Oh my god, it is the three lights. For once.
This might be a bootleg. I am not sure. So I have the...
Oh, the Poochie Petite.
It's just Sailor Star Maker. Somebody was selling it loose on eBay a couple years back for like $10.
I don't think that's a bootleg. I don't remember them making bootlegs of that. I don't think that's actually bootleg. I think that person might have just not known the value.
This blanket, which I just think is so ugly, but it's, you know, Stars merchandise. It's the colors I don't like. So it's the Sailor Starlights.
It looks more like a beach towel. I have no memory of this.
Great Eastern stuff that just showed up out of nowhere. Crunchyroll sold this box set of the three lights and Sailor Moon for like way too cheap. I don't think Crunchyroll realized what they had. They were selling this in their store for like $25.
What? That must have been a sale because I remember pre-ordering that and it was not $25.
I don't know what kind of drugs they were on that day.
Maybe people didn't know who they were. Like your point earlier, people just don't know who the hell the Starlights are.
This little thing, the Eternal Sailor Moon.
Miniaturely tablet.
There you go. Yes. See, it's a good thing you're here. I'm like, it's just the plastic locket. Yeah, opens up. You put your whatever's in there.
Drugs. Always put drugs. No.
I have the bootleg version. Remember when those rings came out? The set of Eternal.
Yeah.
I have the Starlight Star Yell bootleg ring somewhere in this little box next to me.
Are you sure it's the bootleg? Because they came out with real ones. They're just really crappy quality.
I bought it for pretty cheap by itself, and it feels just, I mean, maybe, but it's just so, it's so chunky. It barely feels like a wearable. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of has like a metallic smell too. I know it's just going to turn our fingers green. Ugh. I don't want that.
I wear like a size 7 or 7.5 ring, which is pretty average, but it can't get over these, I train in fighting, can't get over these knuckles.
Yeah, mine just sit here, just above my middle knuckle. I wouldn't even try. I'm allergic to everything. I really wouldn't even try to have it on that long. If we're talking about the same ones, and I probably can like throw a picture on the screen because I don't even know where the hell did I put those. But it was the only thing that came with a star yell. And then did they do one where it was like the Sailor Moon Eternal brooch or the Eternal article? That was the same set, right? They look like garbage in real life. Like, I would just never put them on. They really look like they're just gonna, like, give me lead poisoning. I don't know.
I wrote an article for Pop Lurker years back about Sailor Moon, about officially licensed Sailor Moon items that looks like bootlegs. And in that, we discussed some of the Sailor Moon jewelry. And a lot of it, like, I had someone shared a picture with me where she had showed me it might have been like the Uranus sword pendant that cost like legitimate money, and she was like holding it next to the bootleg, and it was 100% the same.
Aww.
I know, I felt so bad for, like, this is 99 cents. You know what I mean? And I feel so bad for anyone who sees new Sailor Moon merchandise, which is so elegant. You have the makeup palettes, the makeup brushes, all these lifestyle pieces that are, again, very elegant and very sophisticated. They didn't have elegant and sophisticated when you and I were kids.
No, it was just chonky and it loud. Like, we even had at some point an alarm clock that just had the bells on top of it, like the old school cartoon ones. I didn't buy it. It looked like a waking nightmare. But it was just chunky and icky and ugly. And I think in that article you mentioned the moon cycle, which is funny.
Her pigtail's broken off, but I have this.
Oh, you have the one with the clock to the side. I had like a really ugly one that had the clock in front. Mine was 100% bootleg though. Is that one real?
It's real Chinatown. I bought this for $10 in Chinatown in 2016.
Oh man, it's so much nicer. Ugh, what a beautiful time to be alive. My God, that's actually gorgeous.
If you go to Chinatown with cash, you can really persuade. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'm Loryn Stone with Toy Wizards. That's toy-wizards.com. Check out our site daily for toy news, reviews, articles, listicles, snarticles, editorials, opinion pieces. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure that you like and subscribe to Sailor Tortilla. Follow her all over social media. I'll have all those links below. I'll make sure that you guys know exactly where she is as well. Remember, keep collecting, and I'll catch you for the next one. Bye!